Good morning, everybody. This is the next video of lawnmower repair that I like to do and share with everybody because there's always something that's new to learn about repairing these Briggs & Stratton engines. And you get into adventures with wildlife and things like that. And my last episode, I had a close encounter with a black widow that tried to attack me. That was interesting because I've been warning you guys about encountering those, and by gosh, I had one live on camera just go for me. So that was interesting. That was in saving or rescuing Libby, the very first episode. So if you haven't seen that, that was interesting. This mower I picked up for almost nothing because it's missing the carburetor. The rewinder was just loose, and so I've got to install that. And the other thing that's going on with this mower, let me lift her up and tilt her back, and I'll see if you guys can figure out what's wrong with that blade installation. And we'll come back to that later. I've already taken off the starter cup because I walk around this way. The flywheel key is not ideal. Some people might look at that and go, oh yeah, that's okay. There's the flywheel key and there's the groove. But the edge of the flywheel key is not lined up with the edge of the crankshaft, the flywheel key groove in the crankshaft. So this flywheel key, instead of being here, let me do it this way so we get the correct angle here. The center of the flywheel key is here, the way it is now. It actually should be really at that angle if it's dead center. So now some people may not agree with me on that. Let me get you really up close. That line of that flywheel key groove should be right there, in my opinion. This one looks okay. That one is pretty straight, but this flywheel has been bumped, and I'm a purist, so I'm going to try and get that where it's just a little more perfect. So let's do that before we do anything else. So I've got to get out the big hammer and go to work on this flywheel. I have had it soaking overnight with JB Blaster, so it should come off fairly easily. And I'm gonna probably flip that flywheel key over because it's not sheared. It's just been bumped. So I am going to put the nut that sits in the starter cup, I'm going to put it on here and turn it a few times so it goes below the very top of the threads. kind of protects them. I'm going to put my little slug here, copper slug, and I'm thinking I could come in under the flywheel key right through there, or not flywheel key, but underneath the flywheel right there. But I've got to get this engine brake off so it's not holding the flywheel on. Let me get a clamp for that. Okay, now it turns the way it should. Sometimes I take off the coil, and I think in this case I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me flip this carburetor linkage over this way. Get the spark plug off of here. There's spark plug wire, and I need a 1/4 inch socket to get the coil up and out of the way. And I'll reinstall that. That's done. So I don't lose these screws, I'm going to go ahead and put them back in and turn them both a few times just to keep them in place. That one fell out. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now I've got plenty of room to get my big flat screwdriver in under here. I'm going to push down on this at the same time I'm striking the leverage. The leverage is as important as the actual hammer strike, so I'm pushing down really hard on this. And, doesn't come the first time you spin it. And try it again. That was kind of a glancing blow. Gotta get my little copper slug out of there. Not working. I just pushed it under. Let me go get another one. All right, here's a couple of them. One and two. Just stack those guys up there. Copper slugs are taking off on me. Wow, this one's really on there. Okay, that did it. So let's get our nut off. We're gonna rearrange this flywheel key so it's more centered. Okay, I don't see any major wildlife under there. Let me clean out some of this debris. There's quite a bit of just trash underneath this flywheel key. So there's flywheel. And the key is still in the crankshaft. Let me grab my camera. You see, there's your flywheel key. Let's get that out of there. So that came right out. Let's take a look at it. See how damaged it is. It's really not, I don't expect it's going to be too damaged at all, but you can see the grooves cut in it where it got bumped. So get my little screwdriver here and clean this keyway. I want it to sit nice and square in there so that spark arrives at the perfect time. Well, let's get the flywheel back on. We just took it off, but now we're putting it right back on. And we're going to line up this. The light's not all that good, but okay, see that's not dead center, that's not dead center. That's almost dead center. That right there is dead center. And now the flywheel key is going to go in, and I'm going to flip it over. You can see the way it was. This end, you can tell by the dirt on it, that end was up, and the flywheel key groove is deep down at the bottom and shallow up here. So I'm looking for the deep part. See how it's deep at the bottom? So I'm going to flip it over. And now the shallow part is at the bottom. And that should be a good fit. I think I moved it. Let me get back where I need it. Yeah. I want that to be just perfect. Okay, that's perfect. All right, let's see. Let me look at my flywheel key again. All right, I want the shallow part, the shiny shallow part, I want that up top, so that now the fat part is on top. I'm going to try and just slip that in there. It doesn't want to go, and that's okay. We're gonna pick up this flywheel again. We're gonna lift it. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Right up in there, so that everything is still lined up. But see, that gives you a little more room to slip that flywheel key in there. It wants to slip down, so what I'm going to do, I don't normally do this, but for the camera and everything, I think I will. I'm going to stick these pliers under there just to kind of hold the flywheel up. Right in there. I'm going to slip these pliers under there. And that's going to kind of hold it up, see? So the edges there are perfectly square. And now this should slip in there, I think. Let's see, I need it to go that way. Now this doesn't slip in here pretty soon. I'll just go get a new one. Oops, I'm gonna have to set the camera down. When I finish doing this, I'll bring it back over. Can't do it with one hand. Not working. Let's see, look at that again. So I'm holding it, the flywheel key way up to the top. Let me show you now. See, I've got it in there. I'm holding the flywheel almost near to the top of the threads. But see, the flywheel key is in position. So now I'm gonna slide this in at the same time that I'm pushing on the top of the flywheel key. That's going in there. Now, let me show you this. Okay, you see? What's this now? I'm pushing the top of the flywheel key. And now, those edges of that flywheel and the groove in the crankshaft are perfectly in line. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but I'm looking at it and that is excellent. Okay, so when you come back, we're gonna put us a carburetor on here.